morning. A little something different from Tom's Radio Room show today. This is something that I was interested in maybe 10 years ago, was tracking these weather balloons. And what they do is they launch these weather balloons, they grow a certain distance, and then when they get to a certain altitude, the balloon bursts and then the transmitter falls to the ground. And at one time, let me just show you here on the map back here. At one time, I believe they launched from over here where I live. And there was a possibility, if they had a failure, that one of these would fall within 20 miles of me. Now, and for a long time, they've been launching over here from Ruskin. And even if they had a failure and it fell, that'd be a long trip for me, 2 or 3 hours. So I gave up on it. But it still fascinates me. And here's the track of this one this morning. And it's getting, I think it's actually coming down, dropping in altitude. I can click on it. And this website is Sonderhub, SONDRHUB.org. There's the link right there. So this one's coming down. And so here, if you click on it, it gives you the parameters over here. Here's the frequency, so I can listen to it. And there even is some apps that will decode the data. But I kind of got away from that because this website decodes the data for you. Not all the data, of course. And let's see, yeah, see this is dropping. Minus 8.5 meters per second. So that means most likely the balloon has burst and the transmitter, little plastic box, is dropping. And so these usually fall out in the ocean someplace. Now, what I was hoping I could convince my friend Jeff, who brings me radios, as a matter of fact, he's going to bring me another batch of radios this coming week. He lives up in Jacksonville. And there's the launch site. Let me zoom out a little bit. A launch site in Tallahassee. And this is kind of the usual track, although it varies every time. And there's a possibility one of these could land within 20 miles of Jacksonville, and he could go find it, add it to his collection. So if we look at this one right here, I'll click on this one now. Whoop, it's moving. So it's dropping at 14 meters per second. So it's coming down. And this is the predicted location that it will land, which is, you can see this, it doesn't show any roads. So this is kind of out in the, well, maybe there is a road. Yeah, there's a road right there. So it's a possibility he could drive up here and then trek through the woods and find this thing. Now, the best way to find it is have a portable radio that you can listen to the signal, which is right here. Tells you what the signal is going to be, 404.2 megahertz. So you could use a scanner to track this. And so when it's on the ground, it's still transmitting, and you could locate it. A lot of people do this. This is a hobby, especially if they're in an area where a lot of them land. So what I was saying is, if we had a flight that was closer, he might be able to find it. You know, it's pretty iffy, but I'm trying to see if I can convince Jeff to track these. And then if, like I say, if one falls down someplace near him, he can see if he can go find it and then add it to his collection and let me borrow it, and I can show it to you. So I thought I'd tell you about this. Kind of interesting, and there's only a couple of launch sites, I think, in Florida. This is actually a launch site, of which this one was launched here, and I think it's, yes, blue means I think it's down. Yeah, the balloons. Oh, I just realized this has a symbol for parachutes. That means it is parachuting down. Okay, let's see what this one says. Okay, this one says it's still moving at plus 6.4, which it's probably floating. Maybe the balloon maybe is having it float, and the current's just moving it, possibly. Let's go back. So there's even a possibility, depending on if the wind goes squirrely, that one launch from here might go up this way. So he has two possibilities of balloons that he might get. Now, I just have just the one, and then there's one down in Miami. There's a possibility, like I say, any day the winds could change. So this thing, instead of tracking where it normally tracks, it could track up this way. You never know. And in these green places are stations, just ordinary people that track these things. Let me see if there's one up here that's actually active. Actually, yeah, this guy right here, he's tracking this weather balloon. So if I click on him, come on, let me click. It's not going to let me click. Come on. I can't. There we go. Oh. That didn't tell me anything. All right, forget that. But it normally tells you information about the station. Let me go down here and find another one. There's one close to me. See if I can find it. Yeah, there's one over here, and there's one up here. These are just mostly amateur radio guys, but not necessarily, that are tracking these and reporting back what they found. So we can, come on, there we go. There we go. So this guy, this is his ID. He's using this Radio Sund Auto software to decode it. He's using a 3-element Yagi, and this tells you the last contact he had, which was today at 12:31 UTC. Pretty interesting. You might want to check into this. I find it fascinating. And like I say, if you use like this software right here, this Radio Sund, it will give you information that is coming from the transmitter about weather conditions at that location. And they usually go up to about 30,000 feet, and then they burst, and then they come down. And you can, I don't think you'll get any reward, but you can turn them back in if you find one. But they don't go out and try to find them to recover them, I don't think. It's not worth it. I don't have a picture of them. Pretty small box, maybe 4 inches by 6 inches, I'm guessing. Anyway, just thought I'd show you this because I was playing with it this morning. Have a great day. Bye-bye.